How's it going? This is gonna be it's gonna be some real talk. I've been meaning to do a video. Can I blink more? I have been meaning to do a video about this for some time. Social media is awesome for showing those lives that, everybody's living, that are just rocking, and they're crushing all the things, and they're using all the filters, and they're showing all the best parts of their lives. And hell yeah, I do that too. But I also want to show the behind the scenes stuff, the struggles, what people, or at least what I go through, in order to get to the point where there are more of those good times, and you start to, or I start to fulfill my dreams, and achieve goals and crush it and all that kind of crap. But yeah, it's not that way. It's a beautiful disaster until that kind of stuff happens, I believe, anyways, or at least that seems to be how it goes in my own life. I used to work in the oil patch in Alberta, and mining, and all those horrible industries that contributed in destroying this planet. And I won't get into the details of all that. I mean, there's reasons for why and why I got out. I got out to honor myself because oh man, cis-het white dudes calling you out. Construction, equipment operation, the oil patch, forest industry, anything that's like a typical cis-het white male environment they generally pay really well, which is part of why I entered into those fields. Obviously there's a lot more to it than that, being trans and with the way I was raised, but the level of needing to be hyper vigilant, self-protective, the amount of mental preparation it took to just be able to go to work, and that's not even like actually working in those environments, was like, it's still triggering. And I work with, and have worked with, and continue to meet tons of women who have struggled with the same things and feel the same way, and have left those industries because of the shit treatment and the toxic behaviors. And I'm not saying all of you are like that, but anybody that's taking offense to that is cis, white and male, you're part of the problem, right? Like, I've also ran into a few, worked with one guy that would self-identify as cis and white, and he was not that way. He was at least aware of it when I could actually speak to him about these things, and he was empathetic, sympathetic, compassionate. I don't know, I'm just throwing out words at this point. I also haven't been eating properly lately, which is not great, but that's just one of the things that I choose daily to struggle with until I'm able to make something of my other skills, my actual skills, my skills I was born with, the ones that came to me genetically, like music and art and creative pursuits, the things that I wanted to do when I was a kid. But again, that's a topic for another time. So yeah, I'm behind on rent. I was doing well with my business when it was fitness-based. When I switched to the self-love model, because that's what felt right for me, it fell apart. I lost my income. I had to sell my car, which isn't a big deal. It's a car. It's a chunk of steel. I live downtown. I can walk everywhere. I've still got the motorcycle for now. Yeah, I'm behind on payments in my motorcycle. I'm pretty sure they want to come and repossess it at some point. I'm behind on rent. I've been told I need to move out. I don't know when yet. And those are all fair things. I totally get it. Makes sense, right? If I can't afford to pay rent, they need to, you know, my landlords need to make their bills and shit too. And they tried so hard to work with me, and I tried so hard to work with them. But I even considered going back into one of those trades again. And thank God I didn't, because I'm already stressed. Like, I picked up another job. It's got its own stresses, but the people there are, for the most part, are like stellar. Great little community. And same here, which is why I'm sticking it out at these two places. But working over 50 hours a week, 7 months away from turning 50 myself, I get worn out with that kind of stuff, right? Like, it's a lot of time to spend on and not doing things that I'm super passionate about. I mean, yeah, I love coaching and throwing axes and knives and that kind of thing, and it is very cathartic, and it's very satisfying and feels really good to help empower other women and queer folk to learn these skills. But it's not my main passion. Those aren't the things that drive me, right? Like, I came close to being published once, but it was during my transition and the end of a very toxic and abusive marriage, and I was still a high-functioning alcoholic. So that's one of the things I've been working on again, is a rewrite of that, and to try and submit it. Again, not try and submit it, I will. Sorry, I'm so tired. I've not been sleeping. I'm stressed. I'm going through depression. And I understand that. I understand what that means for me. It means that there's something within my daily routine, weekly routine, that is no longer serving me, and that I need to take the time to sit down and hash out what that is and make some changes. Fairly certain I know what those things are. I'll discuss them at length once I know for sure. But for now, yeah, right? Like, when I said earlier in one of my other videos that, you know, it's a monthly struggle as to whether or not I'm going to be living on the street that I'm living on in my apartment, or living on the street that I'm living on. I don't have enough money to pay for first month's rent and security deposit somewhere else, and I just did the budget, and I can't see myself being able to come up with it in any reasonable time frame. I don't have anything to sell anymore, right? Like, I sold my car. Can't sell my music equipment because that's what I'm using to try and get myself out of this and give myself the life that I deserve, and that I've been denying myself. You know, I barely have any groceries. I go hungry 1 or 2 times every couple of weeks for a couple of days. I haven't been able to afford my hormones for a month. And I'm sure that's affecting my coping skills too. Thankfully, I'm far along enough in my self-love journey that doesn't seem to affect how I feel about my physical appearance or anything like that. But it's just one of those things. I get the point of this video is that, yeah, shit's tough. We've all got our struggles. We really do. I'm not saying mine are any worse or any less than someone else's. We also have our own set of tolerances based on how our experiences have shaped us. It is what it is. It's particularly tough for me at this point, or I believe it's particularly tough for me at this point, because I don't have a support system. My mom is in her late 70s, has never understood me, is highly religious, and that's cool. I still love her to bits. She's a very kind, beautiful, and compassionate human being in her own way, but there's no support there. My dad chose to end his life a couple of years ago. He was the opposite of support. I think he was trying later on in his life, but I was too unhealthy to recognize that. And I don't think he was far enough along in his own self-work and processing his own trauma for there to have been any reconciliation anyway. And then I've got my biological mom. She's out on the East Coast, and that's pretty much self-explanatory. I met her once when I was in my mid-30s, and we text occasionally. That's about it. I've got a friend on the East Coast, but again, we've only met like maybe 5 times in person, and she's fantastic, and we understand each other a lot, but we both suffer from a lot of the same things, and being on the opposite sides of the country from each other does not help things. I'm horrible at long distance relationships, any type. And I've got a friend up in Up Island who's struggling perhaps worse than I am. Oh, I've got customers. I have to end it. I'll be back.